See, there's a big misconception about who and what an incel actually is. Most of us would think of an incel as a guy who's not having, sex, right? A guy who has no girlfriend or probably never has had a girlfriend. A guy who doesn't know how to talk to women because he's shy or not confident, right? A guy who doesn't work, right? A guy who's not making money, a guy who has ostracized himself from society and his whole thinking pattern is in the deep depths of hell, right? But I'll argue that. I will argue that. And I would say married men can also be incels. Working, regular looking, working married men can also be incels. And I'll tell you why. Let's break it down. See, men have been silent for a long time. Men have been very silent for a long time. Women have had the mic and they've pushed their narrative and they've been allowed to speak from their viewpoint. And now with, YouTube expanding and, the rise of much of social media, men are getting the mic and men are actually telling the world how men feel. And the truth is, men can end up, even if they are married, men can end up in the same predicament as that single incel, right? That incel that we all call weird, that we all call like, what's wrong with this guy, right? They can end up in that same thought pattern. Listen, a lot of people don't like to acknowledge this, even with men having a mic, but married men are also not having sex. Ask a married man. Ask a married man. Men are not getting married men are not getting sex from their wives, right? They're not. Men, these married men, they're working to the bone, to provide for many ungrateful women. Many of those wives that they married to were probably wrong choices. Ask a married man. Ask them. Those women that they picked are ungrateful, right? They feel as though they stay by themselves. A lot of married people are sleeping in separate bedrooms, right? A lot of married people are not even talking. They come in this way and go out this way, and that's it. They don't even know each other. Yeah. See, married men can go down that same rabbit hole and they can get to this realm, which I call the death realm, right? They can get to the death realm as well. What's the death realm? Well, it's a realm that men end up in when they're depressed, when they're insecure, not confident, they don't have any purpose, they don't know what they're here for, they don't know what they're alive for, they don't know what they're here to do, right? They have no money, they're broken. That's the death realm. And married men can very well end up in that realm as well. Especially when you thought that this woman was gonna be your end all be all. You thought that she was gonna be the same way that she was at 22, at 54, and then you find out that, damn, I fucked up. Damn, she's sucking me dry. Pause. I ain't talking about that way. But a lot of married men get caught up in this as well. And they get to watching, the same, red pill talking points. They get to watching the same black pill talking points, right? And they are on the same side as the incel a lot of the times because they are unhappy. They are miserable with their lives. They feel as though they have no power, right? And it's crazy because you would think that, well, you have some permanent punani at the house. Well, you have this house, right? You have this career, and mind you, they can be pretty successful careers. They can be pretty, successful, white collar jobs, desk jobs, right? And you would think that, hey, this guy is living a life, right? He's taking his family to two vacations a year, right? Pretty normal, pretty average. He participates in his children's PTA meetings, and he goes to the games, and he volunteers and all that, right? You would think this guy would be happy. You would think, well, that's the life that I want. That's the life that I want right there. Sorry to break it to you guys, man, but what you see on the surface doesn't always appear as it seems. Or better yet, the grass is not always greener on the other side. Let's just be honest. A lot of the married men really want to be free. Let's just call a spade a spade. A lot of the married men, they want to be free. They don't just want one woman. They want two or three. Let's just be honest. A lot of the married men are living average, regular, degular lives, regular, barely middle class lives. And they would rather be focused on building something that's going to afford them that Benz, afford them that Lambo, afford them that Range Rover, right? They tired of driving around their Honda. They're tired of driving around a Nissan. Listen, a lot of the married men, they want to be free too. They want to be left alone. They want to do what they want to do, right? But the truth is, a lot of them are trapped. A lot of them are trapped and don't know how to get out. See, just like the incel, just like the incel we call incels, right? They want to bang hot women too. They want to travel too. They want to drive the nice cars too. They want that too. See, that's a misconception. See, the incels want the married guy's life, but the married guy wants somebody else's life. They want a whole different. They want a whole different ball game. They're trying to achieve to be something else that the regular incel is trying to achieve. Listen. This is how it is. Ask a married man. Ask them. Do they love their wives? I'm sure. They love their children, of course. Right? But ask them, would they do it all over again? Hmm. That question would be the answer to that question probably wouldn't shock you. But most married men wouldn't do it all over again, especially in this environment, especially in modern day society. Yeah. They want to be free as birds. They want to talk to the young pieces of punani. Yeah, they want to talk to the 20-year-olds. They want to talk to the 21-year-olds. Yep. They want to do all kinds of crazy things to them. Yep. Absolutely. They're not getting the work at home. And quite frankly, especially if they're older, they don't want a 35, 40, 50-year-old piece of punani. Come on now. They don't want that. They don't want that. And quite frankly, a man isn't even attracted to older women, like biologically. He's attracted to more young, fertile, and tight Women. Yeah, married men struggle every day. Every day. And it gets depressing. See, in my honest opinion, I would say married men probably have it worse than single incel men, right? Because just like all of those things that I named, got the house, you know, he's working a pretty normal career. He may hate his job, but he's making pretty good money, right? He has the house, he may have the car, he has the wife, right? He got the kids, right? You would think that this guy's the on paper example of what incels would want for their life, right? Married men probably have it worse because of those things. They have it worse. Imagine having permanent punani at the house and you can't have access to it. Imagine that. Imagine not being able to work on your goals because every single thing that you do, all the time that you try to create for yourself, it has to go to somebody else who don't respect your time, who don't honor your time. And I'm not speaking for the kids, but the kids can take up your time as well. It can. So you're trying to build something. You're trying to start your goals. You're trying to write down goals. You're trying to achieve goals, and you can't. You can't. This job is taking. This job is taking your time. Your wife is taking your time. The kids are taking your time. Then you have to participate in these activities that look like the stellar husband, the stellar dad. That shit can get depressing. It can get depressing real quick. Ask a married man. See, married men are who incels and these other, red pill guys achieve to be. That's who a lot of guys want to be. Because just look at what the majority of men are complaining about. Hey, there's not many wives out here, and we want to start families and do this and do that. Okay. Okay. You might want to ask a married man before you do that. You might want to ask and get the ins and outs before you do that. Because there's a big misconception about how and who a married man actually is too, right? Married man can get Married man can dive deep into the incel world as well, especially when they feel powerless. And yes, you can even feel powerless when you are making some money, but that money is going straight out the door. You gotta raise kids now. Your wife is asking for everything, right? If you really don't have strong will and you really don't have the mental capacity to really dig deep inside of yourself and really find that purpose and really continue to get going regardless of your environment that you created, right? It can get ugly. It can get ugly because as we know and as we've seen, I hope you've seen it, but there are married men who can have kids. There are married men who can, you know, get a wife, and that will propel them, right? The kids and the wife propels them to the next level. Does that work for all or most men? No. No, it doesn't. For the most part, most men, once they get into these dead end careers, once they get a wife, once they uh, start having children, their whole manhood goes out the door. If they were working out and healthy before, they're not healthy anymore. Look at the physical shape of most married men. Overweight severely, belly hanging out like this, two necks. They're severely overweight. And they're not happy. They're not happy with themselves. They're not happy with the outcome of their lives, right? Many of their wives don't respect them. Many of their wives are, doing little things up under the table. Many of their wives don't even talk to them. Many of their wives don't have sex with them. Oh, that's the perfect environment for an incel. That's the perfect environment for an incel. It's the same thing. Take his purpose away. Take his physicality away. Take his mental away. Take his heart away. Take his drive away. And what do you have? You have an incel, ladies and gentlemen. It's the perfect storm for an incel. This is the after pill, baby. Listen, I'm reshaping what a lot of people believe. I'm reshaping what a lot of men tend to believe, because we've always painted this picture of the incel as this video, this fat video game guy who got Cheeto dust on his belly and he still stay with his parents or grandparents or something like that and living off government assistance. That's how we've always painted the incel. But lo and behold, the incel could very well be driving a BMW, pulling up to his suburban house with his rating of a 6 wife, not too shabby, and his 2 kids and his annoying dog, right? Middle class life. See, we don't paint the incel with that paintbrush right there. That's not the picture that we have of an incel. But that man right there, trust and believe, he's also an incel. Trust and believe, there are many men exactly like the man I described, working dead end careers, don't know which way to go, sick of coming back home to an ungrateful and sexless marriage, coming back home to bratty kids, having the life and time and money sucked away from him, not being able to choose which way his money goes, which way his resources goes, feeling like he's stuck, feeling like there's nothing else out there for him to achieve, right? His wife is getting personal trained by a big old swole Chad and Tyrone. Lo and behold, he's working his ass off just to pay for those physical training exercises while he's looking like a fat slob. So you know what she's doing. Should I continue? Did I explain it enough for you guys? Married men can be incels too, man. They can get just as depressed. They can get just as lonely. They can get just as nihilistic. They can get just as extreme. The same with the incel. Why do you think the incel movement has become so extreme? Why do you think? They have nothing to live for. They feel like they have no purpose. They feel like nothing is nothing. They don't have a woman. They don't have no punani. They're not getting sex. They're not getting the things that a man needs to thrive. But married men are also in the same predicament. They're not getting any life. They're not finding any purpose. They also feel like nothing is nothing. They don't see their upward mobility. They see a dead end wall. Comment your thoughts down below. And that's an after pill. Like, comment, subscribe. Subscribe to the After Pill 2.0 as well. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.